Hey everybody, Zero Day Studios here. We're going to talk about strings. Mainly the types of strings. I like to use a hybrid set, skinny top, heavy bottom, from Ernie Ball. Uh, but it also depends on what you're playing. You know, they say there are certain string types for certain types of guitars. There are certain gauges for tuning down and staying in a standard E tuning, which is true. This bad boy here, my RGFM8 Ibanez, has a 12 gauge, yeah, string set. uh, it's nasty. That is my low E. So normally I wouldn't have such heavy gauge strings on my guitars, but this one particular I do. The reason why I have such a heavier gauge string is because a lot of times I will drop that low E to D. Just because it sounds nasty, right? Absolutely. Plus, it gives me a lot of sonic options. With, say, let's take some light to mediums, gauge 8s and 9s, okay? If you were to put light gauge strings on an 8 string tuned in drop D, which I think is D1, D0, not sure, very low, it would be like playing rubber bands. So you'd hit your low and it would go fart. So gauges matter, especially what tuning you're going to be in. Some people will tell you that they will drop their tuning into a low tuning and still keep a mid gauge strings because they like that when they strike it, it almost sounds like it's warping out of tune and then bouncing back. It's kind of a cool technique, but it opens up the possibility of it sounding off for that brief second. I guess that has its place. I'm not a fan. I prefer things to stay in tune. I'm just funny that way, I guess. But gauges are important. Yeah, I prefer on most of my other guitars a hybrid set of a skinny top, heavy bottom. So the skinny top is going to allow me to do a lot of bends and do a lot of goofy things. With the heavy bottom, I can still maintain a standard tuning, and it sounds beefier because the gauge is thicker. Hence the hybrid set. There's two different gauges going on in that set. That's mainly where I'm at. A lot of people are different, and that's totally fine. This is actually a Stringjoy. If you're not familiar, you need to be. They are an amazing string company doing a lot of cool things. This is specifically a Stringjoy set, and let me tell you, they are on par with Ernie Ball. I've never had an issue, will never have an issue, and anytime I need strings for this bad boy, it is going to be a Stringjoy set 100%. They sound good, they're tight, they're clean, the clarity is amazing. The brightness of it and the longevity of these things is just incredible. No need taking them off, throwing it in the pot to boil to re-clean because you can't afford to get new strings. Buy new strings. Don't boil them. We did that in high school. We don't do that anymore. We're adults here. Get yourself a set of Stringjoys. WBgear.com, Stringjoy.com. You can find them on Amazon too. They are literally everywhere. And they just, I've had a set on these things for longer than what, any other strings would be, and these things still sound like I put them on yesterday. So do yourselves a favor, do some research, find out what kind of strings you want. Don't just go and get the ones that your buddy says, oh, these are the ones I use. They're perfect for you. Get them. I tune in drop F sharp. And they're super light. Yeah, don't do that. Do your research. Google. Go to your local guitar store and be like, this is what I play. What strings do you recommend? They'll be straight with you. Some places will be like, oh, you should buy these. Do your own research. Maybe you run into the right salesman at some guitar store and they're like, I recommend these, I use these, Bob's your uncle, boom, done, out the door. Make sure you know what you're getting, is basically what it comes down to. Don't shove out an arm and a leg for a set of strings that you could get better tone, better quality, better clarity for cheaper. So just because it's got a fancy name on it doesn't mean that it's the best. Thanks for watching, everybody.